right, y'all. We're going to make this show short and sweet. I promise y'all I'm not going to keep y'all in here long, especially after that show with NXT was pretty good. So we're going to get into top commenter of the day very quickly and get everybody in and out. Okay. So Kayla is my number one commenter for today. Shout out to you, Kayla, for being in here right when I went live. And then we have Pierre, Donnie, Tay, and we have Nika. And then we make Aaliyah the honorary top commenter of the day. If you want to get the accolades of top commenter of the day, and of course, I have to shout out my member, Layla. She is a member of the channel, so shout out to her. If you want to be a top commenter or a member and get a special shout out from me, you means your comments will get recognized right when it comes through. I will see it. Okay, all you have to do is go ahead and sign up to be a member, which you can join over here on YouTube. Right underneath the video, it has a white box that says join. I'll make sure I'll make a little video for this later. And if you just want to be top commenter and you ain't trying to join the channel, that's cool. You can always just come in and be the top 5 commenters, and there is an honorable slot. So there you go. All right. Okay, so we got Tirza. She's also here, and Donnie's in the comments cutting up. So let's get into NXT, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't watch it, you did miss some setups of a lot of things. Okay, so hold tight. Let me get all the logistics that worked out when it comes to NXT, because I had to upload a few more things, but I wanted to make sure that I went live first. So I'm gonna put y'all on hold for 5 minutes max, I promise, and then we're gonna dive into NXT.
Still don't know my words, still stressing perfection. Let you all in my mental, got me looking too desperate. Damn, you ain't designed.
All right, y'all. So let's get into NXT. Okay. First things first, right out the gate, they started out with Wesley and Josh Briggs, I believe. This match was really good. Wesley explained what really happened to him and how he was down since last year up until last week when Obafemi beat Ivar and retained his championship. Wesley reemerged. Now, I saw Wesley making his way back into the ring via his social media and came across my Twitter and it came across my Instagram. So I knew he was coming back. I just didn't expect him to be back so soon, in my opinion. However, it's been longer than what we think for Wesley. He had surgical repair of his back. It was like 3 discs in his back that were dislocated or like ruptured.
Yeah.
and that caused some numbness in his legs and his lower extremities, more specifically in his legs. He couldn't feel it, and it caused a severe amount of pain. This required him to have surgery immediately, which he did, and the surgery was successful, and he was able to come back and wrestle. Even in that return, you had some of the superstars in the back. Very glad to see Wes, which we were able to see today. They all stood around him and cheered him on as he came out. And Josh Briggs made it very clear to him last week that he just couldn't jump the line and get a shot at the North American Championship, that he definitely had to wait his turn. So West doesn't mind proving that he has earned or deserves an opportunity at the North American Championship, and this match was made to do so. He went up against Josh Briggs, and Josh Briggs did a good job of targeting his injury, trying to take him out. But Wesley was able to persevere. Early on in the match, Wesley was toying with Josh Briggs, and it only took one opening for Josh Briggs to be able to come in and take Wesley's speed and agility away from him. When you do that, that causes a little bit more of a slower match, and that works more in Josh Briggs' favor because speed and agility isn't his game. It's power, and of course, just pure, unadulterated power with Josh Briggs. However, he was a little sloppy in this match against Wesley, and that wasn't Wesley's fault per se. It was a little ring rust, you could tell, but for the most part, it was a fairly clean match between both men. Now, Ivar brought his thick ass out there for some reason. I'm not quite sure what the reason why he was there. I mean, it wasn't like Obafemi was out there. He just came out there. This led to a little bit of a discord between Josh Briggs and Ivar as he accidentally touched Ivar after Wesley did a move on Josh Briggs, throwing him into Ivar and in his chair. Quite frankly, he shouldn't have been out there. He should have just had his ass in the back watching like everybody else, but he was out there. After the match was over, Wesley picked up the W and went out to celebrate with the fans, and he watched as Ivar and Briggs got into a brawl, and he just couldn't sit idly by and watch them fight without him being involved, so he decided to jump off and just take out both men equally, and that was the end of that. So Wesley has returned in a massive way, and I'm very happy for him because I loved Wesley and I loved his title run. But I think this time he's going to be working a little smarter and not harder. And of course, with him being one of Shawn Michaels' prodigies, there is no way that Shawn Michaels is going to let him sit on the shelf once again because of his overzealousness. So we'll see how it works out for Wesley. But of course, I see him going up against Obafemi very soon. And if he takes that title off of Oba, I wouldn't be mad in the slightest. But welcome back home, Wesley, and I hope you enjoy your return to NXT. Let's move on to the next match, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I'm going to go to the next match that I saw, which Carmen Petrovich went up against Shayna Baszler. Now, last week, Lola's stupid ass was out there with Natalya, and they put on a pretty decent match. But Lola was about to lose, and of course, Shayna couldn't be attached to no loser. So she put Carmen in a headlock, choking her out. And that caused Natalya to break the sharpshooter on Lola, and Lola was able to get the drop on Natalya. Now, I found that to be quite interesting because, in my opinion, if Lola had the advantage going into this match, there was no need for them to make it seem like she had to cheat to win, to go over on Natalya. Natalya is not a ground and pound. She's a technically sound wrestler, so she has the ability to do all of it, but this is a fight. This was a different type of fight, and this was more in Lola's favor. Her kickboxing, UFC, mixed martial arts style was more of an advantage to her in this style of match than it would have been if she was in a traditional match with Natalya, which is why I didn't understand why Shayna was even a factor in the match at all. Do I think that they could have did that at the end where Shayna took out Carmen at the end, leading to a match at NXT today? Sure. I wouldn't have had a problem with it, but it just struck me as odd. I'm no fan of Lola's, but given the fact that she has that background, just like Shayna does, whether Shayna's the better fighter or not is irrelevant to me. She already has Shayna in her corner as her sparring partner, her training partner, which is fine, but it just didn't lend any credence to Lola's ability to handle shit on her own. It just made her look weak as fuck in one of the matches that would have been the strongest she should look. Like, am I the only one who sees it that way? I just want to make sure I'm not being biased. Hi, Nicole. Not funny you say that. I love Carmen. I think Carmen is great. Carmen is also one of Rico's favorites, but I love Carmen and I love her karate background. And when she comes out with that sword, it just brings back all the Kill Bill vibes. And Kill Bill is one of my favorite movies. That I love her. I love Carmen. So I have no issues with her. But my problem was with the setup of this match. I just didn't like it. And then, again, it didn't lend any credence to Lola in the dangerousness of what she could be and what she's capable of. I didn't like the finish of her match. In that match last week, which I didn't get to watch until later on in the week. So when I went live to talk about it, I just gave you guys the results and was done with it. When I watched the match, Lola and Natalia pretty much were going back and forth, but Natalia had the drop on Lola a lot. A lot. And I was expecting Lola to have a little bit more leverage in this kind of match. It's a mixed martial arts, full on fighting style match. This isn't a traditional wrestling match. This is just for you to go in there and fight. Brutality is the name of the game. And she had the advantage, yet she was still losing. She was still getting her ass kicked. And then on top of that, had Shayna not been there, she would have lost to that sharpshooter in her own branded match. I'm sitting here like, what are we doing? Like, even if Natalia put up a good fight, in order for you to put Lola over properly, she should have won clean over Natalia. Adding in Shayna is fine for a little woo 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 moment, but that should have happened at the end. That should have happened when the match was over. Let Lola attack Natalia, continue to attack. Carmen come in there trying to break it up, and then Shayna puts her in the headlock. Then you could have led to this match over here in NXT on this Tuesday. Instead of doing it the way you did it, it didn't make Lola look any stronger going into her next battle. It couldn't have been me. I wouldn't have agreed to it. I'd have been like, no. This is my fucking world. I'm not gonna let no wrestling bitch beat me at my game. Are you serious right now? Make it so that I win, or make it so that the way that I win, even though it's messy and it's cheating, I still was in the confines of my style of fighting. So if she cheap shot at the girl and punched her in the back of the head or forearmed her in the back of the head or something, hey, if you turn around in the UFC fight, you get knocked out. Am I wrong? I'm just saying.
So I ain't gonna punch you in the back of the head because that's illegal. But if you turn your back, they will slam nickels out your ass.
I'm just saying. She couldn't be attached to another loser. Child. He said, okay, because to be real, Natty was kicking her ass. Natty was giving her a run for her money. For this to be a match that was branded and made for her style of fighting, Natalia had her at every goddamn turn. There was nothing that she could do. There were no ropes she can get to. None of that was there. So I would have I'm sorry, but if it was me, I would have let Carmen's ass get choked out. We would have been playing chicken, bitch. Until she tapped, her ass would have got choked out too. I'm sorry. I had to win a match. It's not nothing against you, but I needed to win. Anyways, Carmen came out there and went up against Shayna. Carmen put up a decent fight, but once Shayna got that girl's arm messed up and hooked it underneath that ring and like that and messed that child arm up, it was gold for her all the way from the time she messed her arm up until she got her choked out that damn ring. Now, this is where it gets stupid because Lola bring her ass in the ring and all she do the same thing I tell y'all she do every week. She come there, she got to bring her hips up and get the shaking. And Shayna was like, bitch, get the fuck off of me, ho. Don't touch me. Like, it's like you gotta know when to hold them and when to fold them. It's the time and the place for you to do all of that. And that's all that I'm saying. If Lola was out there and she was just being her UFC and she let that be her stronghold, nobody would say nothing. But it's the way she just operate that makes me it just makes me so angry. And I'm like, girl, you got all this potential. I see potential in you, but you so fixated on out here shaking ass and dancing in the middle of the ring that, girl, it's not giving what you think it's giving, babe. It's really not. It's just irritating. And I'm like, you could really be dangerous. You could still be pretty and still be shapely and be a danger to that division. You could still do all of that without the extraness. Carmen lost this match and Shayna picked up the win. And as the night rolled on, Carmen just was apologizing to Natalya because she felt like she let her down. And Natalya was like, look, I've been here 17 years and sometimes you lose and sometimes you win. You just got to find your edge. And then that next gen loser that they done picked up and brought into the E. And I know he gonna be a Shawn Michaels guy. They done brought this thick neck loser, frat boy looking bitch into the WWE. And he's over there talking to Carmen and pissed her off. And she roundhouse kicked that nigga in the face. And I was like, now that's how you clear a bitch. That's how you clear a bitch. That's how you do that. Okay? She tore roundhouse and fuck out his head. I was like, period. And her foot connected. That wasn't no fake shit. She hit that nigga in the head. And he deserved it. He definitely did. We love that. Now, Ariana Grace had a match with Mi Chen today, and Mi Chen decided to let the blue go, take all the blue out her hair. Her hair is pretty. It's this brown. It's kind of like a golden brown. It looked like she got highlights in her hair, but I couldn't really tell. Her hair is dark brown, and she looks really pretty. And it seems like Mi Chen has gotten herself to the point where she is now knuckling down, and she ain't playing no games. Mi Chen is ready, and she's going after what she wants. She had a match with Ariana Grace today, and her and Ariana put on a good match, and Mi Chen picked up the win. And that's what I like to see. I like to see Mi Chen get some traction because the HBIC, okay, she is big. She is big. She is out here shaking and giving, honey. I can't stand that man. They let Kaya Saint go, but kept that man. Yeah, they kept him, honey. I'm gonna say this: he gives future liability PR nightmare, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Ain't got nothing to do with me. I was like, looking like, who is this, honey? Mi Chen came out there. I loved her gear today. She ain't had that window uniboob bra on. Thank God. She got her new chap gear on. She looked nice. She looked like she felt good. She came out there and she was working it, honey. And we love that. We love that for her. And Ariana put up a good fight, but ultimately Mi Chen picked up the win. And the NXT crowd really loved the HBIC. So we're going to see how this plays out for her. Okay. Now let's talk about Supernova Sessions, because this is where the best happened. Now last week, the beef you got with the titty winders, her specifically, because it always looked like she got one boob, and I'm not a fan of a uniboob. Okay, and Chelsea's she don't hers don't give uniboob, but she be pressing it. She be pressing it. Now over on the Supernova Sessions, I 100% agree. Donnie, I 100% agree, and I can tell you right now, I would not be mad if Mi Chen didn't get the North American Championship, but was able to go up against Roxanne and get the big one. And she ain't got to be champion forever, but I wouldn't be mad about that. Now, Supernova sessions happened in the middle of the show. And last week, Lash and Trick Williams was trading sexual innuendos and loving on each other in the middle of the ring. Lash looked good last week. Last week, she came out there dressed like she was getting ready to go to the finest of Egyptian parties and Grecian goddess. She was giving Orisha. Okay, she was giving Black goddess all day, every day. Okay, she looked absolutely stunning. But baby, listen. When you missing Jerry Springer and Maury and the old school stuff like Ricky Lake and Sally Jesse Raphael and Jenny Jones, that kind of shit, this kind of shit that happened on Nova Sessions is the kind of mess that you live for. And I definitely lived for that. Okay? Listen, let me tell you. So on Supernova Sessions, last week was teasing that she had some evidence that could tear down Trick Williams' title reign and his whole throne as a champion. So we was all wondering what that was. I thought maybe it was Trick in a compromising position with her or something. You know what I'm saying? But in all actuality, the evidence that they gave was weaker than the shit that they put out there. What about him and Lash? I was like, child, all you had to do was go to Ava and tell her that Trick Williams owe you a title shot. You could have gotten away with all of this. This was weak sauce, okay? I said, oh, no. You ain't got no cards. You just, if you was playing spades, you would get 8 up, sir. Oh, my God. Anyway. When they finally revealed what the big secret was, it was that when Trick Williams beat Noam Dar, his foot was underneath the ropes. So Noam is like, I'm the reason why you were able to come, have all the momentum to beat the Mad Dragon, and I'm the reason. And without me, you wouldn't have this. And he was like, bitch, is you serious? He was like, are you serious? This is what was in the envelope? And I'm like, babes, I feel you, because that's how I was. I was like, I know y'all fucking lying. I know y'all ain't did all of this. And it's a picture of him with his foot under the ropes. When you could have just took this to Ava and made your case to Ava.
Right.
And Trick even said to himself, like, bruh, all you had to do was come and ask me for a title shot and I would have gave it to you. I don't roll like this. This is weak as hell. I'm like, God damn, this is crazy. This is wild as hell. I'm like, oh no, honey. Y'all gonna have to give us more than just this because I'm not satiated with this, okay? I'm gonna need some more. I'm not thirsty enough. And then he turned his attention to Lash. And that's where the mess came in, child. Period. Don said, I was like, a rope break is what you called us here for? Child. I was hoping for a messy baby daddy story. Like, oh, you finna get some mess. Now listen, Trick Williams was like, Lash, since you out here, walking around here like we on the Maury show, which by the way, I ain't the peppy. Okay. I was like, oh, is you partner? Is you partner this? And she was like, what are you talking about? He was like, are you gonna tell him? Are you gonna tell him? For real? I was like, tell us what? Tell us what? Huh? Right, Don. It would have made sense if Ava was also a guest. That I would have been okay with. I was like, what's going on? And he was like, so you gonna tell him how when it's just me and you be calling me Trick Willy Wonka? I'm like, oh, you be calling me that? That's what you call it? Y'all nasty. I said, girl, you be going to the chocolate factory. Hell no. She was like, babe, I mean Trick. I said, caught you, bitch. Ooh, busted. It's 2:00 in the morning. Where you been? You busted. You busted. Oh, that was like, what is he talking about? She was like, I'm not gonna do this. He was like, hold on, babe. You ain't gotta go nowhere. It's just me and you talking. We just talking. He was like, is you gonna tell him how you be calling me Trick Willy Wonka? I'm like, you be calling him that? You like him? I was so messy. The supernova sessions was over at this moment. Now everybody in the crowd like, oh, bitch. Last like, wait, okay. Uh, she didn't know what to say, child. When I tell you that Willie Trick Williams was standing there, he was like, ain't that what you call me now? Then that's when Norm Dar bust him in the side of the face. Knocked him out and lashed at him. They're like, why did you do that? I'm like, girl, this is your man. He hit your man. What are you doing? Okay. Let's play a little game. Show of hands. You can be straight, pan, whatever the case may be. But if it's your significant other standing in the ring and another person hits your man or your significant other in the face and knocks him out, are you going to stand there and just be like, what are you doing? Are you going to stand there? I want to know. So I'm going to give y'all 30 seconds. Y'all tell me, is y'all going to let somebody bust your significant other in the face, or is you going to jump out and introduce yourself? My name is Twin. Okay, I'm sorry. Is you going to jump in, or is you going to stand there like Lash did and just let your man get his ass whooped? What you going to do? Let me see what these comments said. First, let me read Rico's stuff. He said, it's the way I was like, they don't have separate partners, and went to their socials and saw that they done scrubbed them off their socials. Baby, they've been dating for a minute. They don't have separate partners. They've been together for a while. So Lash broke up with her boyfriend, and Trick broke up with his fiance, it seems, and they've been dating. Now, I'm not going to speculate no further than that, because I did not know that they were dating that long until one of my podcast mutuals said that they had been dating for a minute. So I don't know when they broke up with their partners. And to me, that's none of my business. I just know that they are together, and there have been pictures of them, kissing at live events and actually being together all over social media for months. And this was before the reveal of them kissing on NXT when Trick Williams was still going after the title. So, yeah. Yeah, they've been together for a minute. Jonelle said he throwing hands. Am I in charge or no? I don't know, girl. Look, that wasn't the question. The question was, are you jumping in to protect your significant other, or are you going to stand there like Lash? That was the question. Nah, because when they were going around, old girl was like, y'all are looking for Lash. Was like, are y'all looking for Lash? And he was basically like, bitch, don't ask me no stupid shit like that. Ooh. Wowzers. She said, y'all already know my answer. She said she don't need no 30 seconds, period. Why, you just got done dancing or exercising? I'm going to be like that TikTok. What's it? No, like me. Come on, get up. The best. 1 hour and 19 minutes of Just Dance. If you play Just Dance, don't do Proud Mary like Tina Turner. You're doing it wrong. I can't. I think that man may have been a sugar daddy, because he had like 7 kids, and I was like, huh? What? I got a mini phone interview tomorrow. Oh, I love that for you. I'm jumping now. Questions, no questions asked. Period. Tears of will on a nigga from out the street. Definitely. It's taking out people. Whooping him like he stole an old lady purse. Period. Oh, we talking about someone messing with our men. Oh, with Daryl, it's on site. Period. Now, Lash was just standing there. She just stood there, hands up. Why did you do that? What was that about? They just standing there like, I'm disgusted. Jakar was like, girl, I'm disgusted. I said, girl, no, you ain't. You just mad because he ain't get to you. That's you just mad because you didn't get to test drive Willy Wonka first. And with the way y'all rolling these wrestling streets these days, I'm shocked ain't nobody got around like that in NXT. Especially with y'all being stationary in Florida. Girl. Exactly. Yeah, she playing stepmama near. She's so real. I can't. I fight a bitch, a man or a woman. Nah, you hit my nigga, you hit me. Period. But no, I'm messy. We might jump. We might jump you. Don't mess with my husband, all right? Because that redneck white trash that will come out fast. That's a mess. Jakara should be discussing that how she wore that first orange wig to death. Her hair was cute today. Her hair was really cute today. I loved it with the buns on top. Then she had the 90s flip on the bottom with the I was like, girl, it's eating. And it was two different colors. It was a real deep orangish red on the top and it went to that red on the bottom. And I love that. I think I like that better than those long wigs she was wearing because I'm not feeling it either. But she did a real good job with her hair today. I don't know who did her hair, but that hair was fire today. It was really cute. And it was a new wig today. It wasn't the same one that Don talked about. I mean, okay, I would have whooped Noam's ass, Oro ass, and Jakara. I would have the big booted Noam back to the UK or wherever he came from. And she didn't wear it today. It was a different wig today. It was. They said, "Bless you, AJ."
Thank you.
It was a different one today. Let me see if I can find a picture of her hair from today. They might have one. No, they only showing what's her face? They only showing Lash, but it was cute today. I liked her hair today. Bianca beat a bitch ass about her man. Lash better take notes and go to somebody's house. I think that's coming, but it's coming later. It get a little old, but they boil it a few times, get a little wiggle room, re-dye it. Once it get too old, you bob it. Yeah. I be ripping that Noam's chest hair. Okay. Noam knocked out Trick Williams. Not Pinky. Noam knocked out Trick Williams and left that man in the middle of the ring and left Lash standing there looking at Trick and looking at them. Now, Lash seemed to be stuck between a rock and a hard place, literally. Don't ask me who the rock and who the hard place. I can't tell you that.
No, I'm dark.
So they was able to move forward from there. Now, after that, once they got ready to leave, Lash was not with for Metaphor. It was just Jakara, Oro, and Noam Dar. And of course, they ended up running into Javon Evans. And Javon Evans was trying to talk to him, but of course, Noam Dar cut him off and was basically sunning him in front of everybody. And so there was a match made. Javon Evans will face off against Noam Dar next week. And I imagine that Trick Williams is going to collect on the receipt next week. And then when we finally get Noam versus Trick Williams, Lash will finally show her loyalty to Trick Williams exclusively. And then we can dead all this foolishness, okay? Because I was like, what? What's going on here? We got us a couple of haters. We got a couple of haters. Raw, you got all the horror shit, the messy shit. WWE is like life. I mean, yeah. Now, let's move on to the matches that weren't televised or that weren't advertised. Okay, sir. Fallon Henley went up against Kaylani Jordan. Kaylani Jordan was very upset with Fallon at her attack on Thea Hale, especially after Thea expressed how she had a lot of people turning on her and it broke her heart. So her turning on Thea the way she did hit Thea doubly hard because Thea was venting to her about JC Jane turning on her the way that she did. And of course, Fallon is just like, look, it ain't no animosity. I'm just putting myself first. And Kaylani is just like, what is wrong with you? What has gotten into you? And she was like, I'm putting myself first. You know, and they basically started arguing and a match was made. So they had their match tonight. Now, Fallon and Kaylani had a decent match. Kaylani was on the turnbuckle and was trying to pull Fallon from the turnbuckle, but Kaylani didn't necessarily get the pull all the way. It was like both of their momentum pulled them away, and she had grabbed to the turnbuckle that was coming off, and that pulled it off completely. Kaylani thought she had Fallon by kind of pseudo diving on her while she was in the corner, but Fallon moved, and Kaylani ended up hitting her side on that exposed turnbuckle. That changed the tide of the match and gave Fallon the win. I mean, good for Fallon, I guess. I was just waiting for it to happen. It seemed like an awkward time for her to turn on Thea, but the way they set it up actually made sense. She was tired of being in the back of somebody else's wins and being a part of other people's celebrations. She wanted to be celebrated. She wanted to be at the forefront, and she got tired of the bullshit, so she attacked Thea Hale because of it. Quite frankly, she could have just told Thea off and be like, look, girl, I'm happy for you, but listen, I got to do my own thing and you got to do yours, so I'm out. And that left it at that, but instead she decided to attack the girl and hurt the girl feelings, and I ain't with that. I'm all for your happiness, Fallon, and you moving forward, but girl, you was just you was just running around yelling and screaming about how Tiffany Stratton was acting, how Roxanne Perez was acting, and everybody else was acting. And I guess you felt like you got to join the bandwagon in order for you to get somewhere. Good for you, babes. I hope it work out. But I love when you learn a hard lesson that you can't do what everybody else can do. If that makes sense, do you, babe? He said NXT is like the personal drama giving more 20s lifestyle, and then SmackDown is the party scene. Facts. I can't wait to get asked what's gotten into me. Some sense, but let's be some sense into you. I can't. Nah, period, Fallon. Put you first. Not at the expense of nobody else. If Fallon didn't want to help Thea, she could have minded her fucking business. Fallon was the one who interfered in Thea's shit. Nobody asked Fallon to get involved in Thea's fight with JC Jane. She did that on her own. I could understand it better if Thea was begging her for her help, but that's not what happened. She involved herself in Thea's mess. So while Thea was getting the accolades she rightfully deserved because she won those matches on her own, while Fallon was out there causing interference from people interfering in her matches, Fallon did everything she did on her own. Nobody asked Fallon to interfere. She did that by herself. So Fallon could put herself first without worrying about what's going on with fucking Thea and her business. She could have done that. She could have easily walked away and minded her goddamn business. But instead, she got involved and then got mad because she was in the back waving a damn leaf in the back and she wasn't the Black Swan. You're not the Black Swan because you're not meant to be in this story. When your story is written, you can be the black swan if that's what you want to do. Fallon got in there and volunteered. Thank you. So if she hadn't volunteered, I'd be right there with you. Like, yeah. But that's not what happened. Fallon went and walked into the shit. You can't walk into a punch and then get mad because you get punched in the face. That ain't how that works. If you was tired of being a loser, then that's fine. But don't take it out on Thea. Thea didn't do nothing to you. JC looks like she smells of self-tanner and cigarettes. I don't know what the bitch smelled like, but I know that Thea broke her nose. And do I feel bad for her? No. I'm sorry. I don't. You brought it on yourself. Shit. Thank you. Definitely did. Thank you, Don. Definitely did. Definitely did. So, in other words, the bitch needs to be mad at herself. I don't have an issue with Fallon being a heel. What I have an issue with is when each one of these girls turn heel, it's the same song and story over and over again. When at the same time, you could have been doing this. When you was running around backstage trying to find something to do, you could have found your way into being the heel that you are now. But you're the one who was involving yourself in a story that had nothing to do with you. That was your fault. So I don't understand the attack on Thea. I can understand why she telling Kaylani, look, it is what it is. You don't like it. That's cool. My problem was Thea's not your enemy. She never did anything to disrespect you or hurt you. If you took that shit out on JC and that influencer looking bitch she be hanging around Jasmine Nix, then that's cool by me because them two hoes was costing you matches and attacking you. But instead of you doing what's necessary to take them out, you then go after the people who was on your side the whole time. Where they do that at? Ain't no loyalty with you bitches. And I ain't saying you got to be loyal for life, but goddamn, it should be a level of respect where you at least learn how to respect the game enough where you handle your shit and I handle mine. You could have told Thea straight up, look, you got to be a grown woman and handle your shit. All right? I don't know what you got going on. And at this point, I'm going to do me and you do you. That's all I can tell you, sis. Good luck. And you could have walked your happy ass away. And you could have yeehawed your bitch ass down the street if that's what you wanted to do. But you took it upon yourself to involve yourself in her shit. And then on top of that, get mad because nobody was paying attention to you. Bitch, it wasn't your story. It says your story. This is not your song. It ain't your song, bitch. Now, yeehaw that. Okay? Yeah, I agree. It's Miss I got it angry with her, and it seems I don't like it because it's not making sense. And a good heel turn makes sense. Example, when Becky turned on Charlotte, that made sense. Okay? Becky had the match. Becky was the one going after Carmella. Charlotte got involved, obviously, because Charlotte lost her title to Carmella when Carmella stole it. But Becky had won the right to challenge Carmella. And then here comes Charlotte. And then Charlotte was able to swoop in and take it. I could fully understand why she went after Sis because I would have done the same thing. So I wasn't mad at Becky for her heel turn on her. Not even in the slightest, because she deserved the right to be able to do it without Charlotte always finding a way in her mix. Charlotte did it a fucking again. When it came down to Royal Rumble, she won the Royal Rumble. She won the right to challenge whoever was champion, and Charlotte was weaseled in to take that away again. So Becky being the villain at the time, I wasn't mad about it. In fact, I welcomed it because Becky deserved it. Becky earned the right to be able to do what she was doing. And she was tired of Charlotte's bullshit. Now, Charlotte was telling her, like, I'm not trying to take anything from you. And Becky didn't believe her, which everybody could understand. Y'all could understand why she didn't believe her. You got the golden child and you got the girl who was never chosen. Come on now. That makes sense. Fallon said, my main goal is to blow up and act like I don't know nobody, pretty much. But that's not going to happen. She might get the North American Championship, which is fine. I have no issues with that. I was playing Just Dance earlier. That's a whole workout. I kind of get her snapping though. Fallon had been taking care of people, volunteering or not. Like, I'm not going to stand down when I see some bullshit. But good Lord, girl, if I'm going to fight for you, grow a pair and fight too. Thea got to stand up for herself. I don't think you've been watching NXT. Thea was standing up for herself, but it was usually 3-on-2 or 4-on-2 because at the time, Kiana, Izzy Dame, and Jasmine Nix were all going after Thea, Kaylani, and Fallon together. So the problem was not Thea not standing up for herself. Thea was, but she was outmanned. Now, Fallon volunteered. So did Kaylani. All I'm saying is, if you did not want to be in the back of her chorus, don't volunteer to be in the chorus. Don't do that. She was always at the forefront because the feud was between her and JC Jane. You knew this when you got your ass involved. Why are you acting like this is new? You can put yourself first. Everybody can be selfish. There's no issues with being selfish. My problem is the way you execute your selfishness. It doesn't have to tear down other people in order to make you feel good or look good. That I don't care how you slice that. That's not cool. I'm still back Fallon being one of the front runner girls in NXT. I stand by that statement, but not in this case when it comes to her and Thea. Thea didn't do anything to her to deserve the treatment that she has gotten from her. If Thea had stolen an opportunity from her, if Thea had stepped in her way, if she was a part of the tournament and Thea beat her, then I could understand her turning on her because it's a valid opportunity that she feels was taken from her. Fine, but that's not what happened. That's not what happened. So I'm sorry, but I ain't saying that Fallon shouldn't be a heel. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying her heel turn is whack. Number one. And number two, the kind of shit that she's trying to pull is the same shit that she was fighting against not even 3 weeks ago. So in 3 weeks' time, you've been able to go, okay, I need to make a shift. And I think I need to go the same way that Tiffany Stratton and them went in order for me to get my shit off the ground. Okay, bitch. Then what you yelling and screaming at the rest of the girls for about integrity and being good people when your ass ain't got no integrity and you're not a good person either? You should have been just straight up. I want you because I was trying to get a leg up, which to me would make perfect sense coming from Fallon because Thea was the one in the limelight. Thea was the one on TV. Thea was the one being seen. That would make sense. Girl. Do y'all think JC will make it to the main roster? Yeah, she'll get there eventually. But it ain't gonna be no time soon. I mean, I think she was supposed to be in the NXT North American Women's Championship tournament, but she broke her nose, so she's not cleared to compete. Now, what's his face? Kaylani lost to Fallon. Fallon won. And then there was another impromptu match with the No Catch Quarter Crew and who was the other one? Tyson and Tyreek. And I love me a lot of big men, big old meaty men slapping me, honey. Okay, they was out there in the Timbos. Out there serving in the Timbos, and we love that. They put on a really decent match with the No Catch Quarter Crew, but because the No Catch Quarter Crew, they owe Tony and them money. Tony and them want their money, so they fucking that shit up. They done used their power and wielded it, and they told Alicia Taylor that the regular ref that would be out there is not going to be out there. He's been put on leave for the night. And Channing Stacks, he's going to be the referee. Now, Stacks was out there acting wild. There was a pin from Charlie, and he was counting slow, waiting for Tyson to kick out. And then as soon as Tyson got the pin, he and them, Tony and them cost them a win, babes. against the noobs. But the noobs put on a decent fight. There was some parts of that match that was a little bit wonky, but overall, they put up a good fight. Okay. Sir, final match. This was the main event. It was Chelsea versus Roxanne. And they put on a really good match as well. Chelsea gets a lot of flack, especially from me. But I will say this. Overall, Chelsea is a very solid wrestler. She put on a very good match against somebody like Roxanne Perez. She did absolutely stellar. And I always have a little bit of, I'm always a little leery of the size difference in matches with specific people. But just because Chelsea's taller didn't mean the match was going to be wonky. Essentially, she was able to sell correctly. She did everything right. She was hitting her markers perfectly. Chelsea did exceptional in this match against Roxanne. And had Roxanne not been on her P's and Q's, she might have lost that title to Chelsea tonight. It was a very, very good match. I'm very proud of Chelsea putting on that good old match, honey. But Roxanne was able to retain, and that is where we at now. The NXT Women's Combine determined who was going to compete in the North American Women's Championship match. Okay, there are 12 competitors, and they rank them by settling all their scores from all of the events in the combine. So let me see if I remember who's going to be in the tournament. Excuse me, because I forgot to put it up there, and I had it too, and my silly ass forgot to put it up there in the box, and I don't feel like waiting to put it in there. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. All right. So the tournament goes as follows. Okay. So Ruka ranked at number 1 with a 95 overall. Thea Hill ranked at number 2. Jada Parker ranked at number 3. Brinley Reese ranked at number 4. Mi Chin hit number 5. Fallon Henley was at number 6. Lash Legend was at number 7. Ivy Now was at number 8. Izzy Dang was at number 9. Kaylani Jordan is at 10. Tatum Paxley is at 11. And Ren St. Clair is at number 12. Now, Lola, Jakara, and several other girls did compete in this combine, but they did not qualify. So they are no longer eligible to compete for the first NXT North American Championship, for the Women's North American Championship. I saw NXT IG page that the original referee was locked in an ice freezer shirtless, that he was mostly kidnapped because it's Tony D'Angelo, but he was paid. Okay. All right. I want to know, did they actually do these combines or did they just film content? Nicole, don't be acting like that. Pretend, bitch. Pretend that they did. Don't do that. Don't you do that. You pretend. You pretend your ass off. So they did announce the first I'm gonna be honest, I don't feel like talking about Lexus King and his match because it wasn't worth it. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. So I know I missed the match. I know I missed that stuff. I know. I have no intentions of talking about it because I don't want to. Simple as that. Simple as that. I'm not doing it. I don't want to. Now we did see some interaction between the Goodfellas and the tag team champions, which I assume they're gonna have a match very, very soon, more than likely at NXT Battleground. But Shawn Michaels got in on the feud with Kendrick Lamar and Drake and was like, hey, a little sweet chin music goes a long way. You are formally invited to NXT to settle this thing. I'm even offering my services to mediate. Shawn Michaels is an idiot, but I love him for it because he was all with the shits. Never mind the fact, well, that's Sexy Red's comment, which I'll get to Sexy Red in a second. Never mind the fact that Shawn Michaels dead ass was mentioned in Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. I believe that was the line that he was mentioning. Sexy Red was also a commodity on NXT today because she tweeted out, man, what the fuck did I just watch on Supernova Sessions? Metaphor better watch they back because Trick Williams gonna be on they ass now. And we all know that Sexy Red is a big fan of wrestling. She sampled Shawn Michaels' music and his entrance music for a song which she had been previewing for a while. Good for Sexy Red. I love a fellow wrestling fam. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan of her music, so that part I ain't the biggest fan of, but I'm happy that she enjoyed NXT and maybe she'll bring some more eyes to NXT. They probably might use, well, if Sexy got some clean music, because Sexy Red don't have no clean music, they would have to find one. But more than likely, they might invite her to one of the shows for her. She might show up at NXT Battleground. I would invite her. It'd be a good ratings grab for her to be there. Right before Chelsea went out for her match, she saw her old former manager and colleague, Robert Stone. And y'all know right now, Robert Stone has no clients and he looking real petty right about now. So as far as I'm concerned, if Robert Stone linked back up with Chelsea, I wouldn't mind it, but I would like to see Robert Stone with somebody who really needs him. And I'm not sure who that could be, but y'all tell me in the comments who y'all think Robert Stone should manage, because usually y'all have some really good ideas. He said Sexy gonna have to be on Raw. Yeah, when they hit fucking Netflix. Cause girl. But anywho's these y'all. NXT was lit. It was a very, very, very good show. I enjoyed it so much. I loved it. It was amazing. I'm trying to see if they have any more pictures of the show. At the end of the show, we saw the No Catch Quarter Crew getting taken out. Miles and Damon both was put in the back of the Don's car, beaten up and taken out. Now this happened because fucking Charlie and them peeped their whole car. I have been telling people for years. Sometimes you got to keep shit close to the vest, my guy. You can't tell everybody everything that you're doing. Y'all want to operate under the free bird rule because it is the free bird rule. Idiots. Y'all want to operate. Why would you tell them that? You gonna tell them your business before it even gets going? Girl, you got to be smarter than that. What's wrong with you?
No.
You gotta be smarter than that, okay? You can't go out there telling people be your business like that and then getting mad because you, and then too, you didn't even know that they had kidnapped your people. Your people was in the back of a car getting driven probably to the lake somewhere. Your ass coming out looking for everybody like, where they at? Bitch gone because of you. Stupid. Stupid. You're stupid. Just dumb. What's wrong with you? That's a good question, isn't it? With the Robert Stone question, should it be NXT or main roster? He's in NXT, so I would imagine it would be NXT. Kaylani, I need Robert Stone to be back to heel Robert Stone, and in my opinion, Kaylani just wouldn't fit that. Interesting. Wouldn't it be interesting? I want him to manage a female talent. I don't want him managing a male talent. I want it to be a female talent. I want it to be a heel. Now, if Nikita comes back, I feel like Robert Stone could manage Nikita. I'm not the biggest Nikita fan, but she could definitely use the help in that regard. And I feel like she would work better as a heel than her just coming back as a face. Actually, he could be put with Izzy. Ugh, gross. I guess. She finna get put out of that tournament early too anyway. But anyway. I heard Alicia Taylor is moving to SmackDown. You heard correctly. I'm hoping that they do move her and that this was her last time in NXT because I love that two black women are on the main roster doing the announcing. I love that so much. Oh, I hope it's true. They have been reporting it for a while, and I'm hoping this is her last NXT. What if Carmen goes heel? If Carmen goes heel, then I can see her being with Robert Stone. That would make total sense to me. I love that. I fucks with that. Is that damn NXT parking lot the most dangerous place in Florida? You won't catch me there alone or without an insurance policy. Girl, I grew up in the hood. I'm gonna go where the fuck I want. Shit, I don't care about that parking lot. Robert can manage Shotzi when she come back. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, I get you. I was just wondering, just in case they ever brought him up. But I think the NXT girls would be better since they're starting out. Exactly. Especially since Izzy since similar to how Chelsea was when they were first put together. I don't like her, so I don't want to give her nothing to give her a leg up. I'm sorry. I am biased. I can admit that. I'm sorry for that. You see Robert Stone and see Shotzi and say they go together. Everybody don't have to see everything your way, Rico. Some people see things that you don't see. I didn't say that that was necessarily something that I would do, but is it possible or plausible? Sure. It might be a funny dynamic between the two of them because Shotzi would probably scare the shit out of him and he would probably just do what she wanted, you know? I think it'd be funny. It'd be kind of like watching a horror version of him and Chelsea together. You gotta think outside the box. Besides your box. You know that soapbox? You gotta think outside of that. Love you though. My hood is more safe though. I'm not scared of no hood. I'm gonna go where the fuck I want. The only place I probably will not go is in California, anywhere where it's Crips and Bloods, because I don't feel like I should have to tell nobody where I stay. Don't ask me where I stay at. Like, mind your business. Make a little cubby hole in the tank. I can see Carmella if she did a run in NXT again, maybe. Only difference is Carmella don't need it. I definitely don't see that shit. They say it had to happen. I said it was plausible. Rico, you could eat a dick. Only NXT talent. Only because I don't see Robert being pulled. That's why I said that. Because, okay, so what asked me the same thing? And because he's in NXT, I said let it stick to the NXT talent. Well, where is that Danny Parler girl at? I don't know. Where your grandma stay? Huh, my nigga? This messy. I don't know, Don. If you go, because like I said, okay, so what had brought it up, and I was like, it's NXT. He's in NXT. I would expect them to use him in NXT, and it looked like he's Ava's right hand man, which to me is also another perfect spot for him. Because if they decide to move Ava, then Robert could take over as NXT general manager, and I kind of want to see how he would roll as a GM. You know what I'm saying? She said, "What I do? Nothing, babe. You didn't do nothing." That's a good question because I thought she was gonna go to with the other NXT cuts. I don't know, babe. I ain't asked. I don't. I didn't ask, so I don't know. She said nothing. Just being yourself. Definitely was being yourself, hun. She said my hood is safer than the parking lot. I'm gonna go where the fuck I want to go. Them NXT recruits ain't got shit on me. Okay. But anyways, they have officially created the posters for King and Queen of the Ring, and it is on May 25th, excuse me, at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what Liv Morgan gonna do, but I need her to get a better render than this. This render really, that smoky eye blowed out like that. I don't like it. I don't like it. It takes away from her face. Liv's a pretty girl. She don't have to do all of that. I need them to give her a better render than this. Becky's render eats though. She out here killing the girls, killing the hoes. Okay. Now everybody was talking about how this graphic behind them looks like Wakanda Forever. I disagree. It gives Great Gatsby to me. But do you, babes? This is for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Currently, Becky is your interim champion, and of course, Liv Morgan is challenging her to take that title off of her. And then they have already set the tone for the Intercontinental Championship with Sami Zayn. On the professional side, Bronson Reed has been gunning for that title since Gunther was champion, and he has been unsuccessful. I assume that he probably thinks that Sami's a weaker champion and he can go up against him and beat him, despite the fact that Bronson Reed has been beaten multiple times by Sami Zayn. On a personal side, Chad Gable helped Sami tap into his inner, I guess you could say his inner life force, that well of need and that well of I have to beat him in order to beat Gunther at WrestleMania. Give us one of the best matches of the night. But when he did beat Chad Gable in his hometown in Toronto, Chad Gable felt slighted and angry that he would beat him, lay his title in front of him, and then have the opportunity to hug his wife in front of him and everybody in front of his hometown. Chad Gable was very jealous and hateful because of it. He attacked Sami Zayn and ankle locked him upside down with his knee bent, turned on the turnbuckle, over the turnbuckle. It was a very vicious ankle lock. From then on, he's been attacking Sami Zayn, and the attacks have been coming back and forth, with Bronson Reed usually being caught in the middle and laying out both men. So Sami Zayn decided to kill two birds with one stone and set up his match at King and Queen of the Ring in Saudi Arabia for the Intercontinental Championship. Do I think he's going to retain? Probably. Probably up against Reed. Like, he's probably going to pin Reed and retain. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. Alrighty, people. Are people still mad at the poster? I don't know. They seem to be quieting down. They seem to be quiet. If he could go up, I'd say Tegan. You know what, Don? That's not half bad. Because Tegan do need help in that department. But she gonna have to be a weasel of a character in order for that to work. You know what I mean? Proud of it, always, my friend. She giving Bride of Chucky in the worst way. I just don't like it. I just think that Liv's too pretty for her makeup to be that dark and winged out. And it's just too striking. It makes all the focus be on that part of her face. And it's not a good focus, in my opinion. I saw Gatsby too. That's what I thought. I thought Great Gatsby. It didn't give Wakanda Forever, but everybody said it's giving Wakanda. I was like, I don't see that. What were they mad about? They were mad because the original poster only included the champions, Cody, Logan Paul, Logan Paul, Cody, Sami Zayn, Becky, and the tag team champions for the women. They were pissed about that. She got to beat up Natty first. I mean, fair. Fair. Okay, let her do it. All right, y'all. Yeah, Tegan is a great idea. He could really encourage her to use her voice and stand up for herself more. I wouldn't encourage her to say anything. He got to convince her that she's a clout chaser. She goes from friend to friend. I mean, that's not hard to convince. The proof is in the pudding. It's giving Shuri, you are the new Black Panther. I just didn't see it. I didn't see that. I saw Great Gatsby. That's what I got from it. Is it me, even though I do like her and understand her reasons, or is Liv Morgan's revenge tour really annoying? It's not annoying to me. I enjoy the story, and I think Liv Morgan's doing a really good job as a heel going up against Becky. I don't have a problem with it. You putting in all the work while she's teaching in middle school. Like you and I'd be on her ass because I'd be like, yo, when I was your tag team partner, you got mad at me for losing. You got mad at me for giving up, for having matches where I lost. But Carmen lost a match, and Carmen is the reason why you lost your match to Lola, and you ain't beat that bitch up. You ain't tell that bitch she got to get her shit together. You didn't tell her she was anything other than she needed to keep on going. Child bone. That be my reason. That's my third, my 13th reason why I'm a bush in your shit. Good eye tip. That Great Gatsby poster is a classic, right? Liv hit some points last night, though. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said I'm not annoyed at her. She said what she said. What she said wasn't wrong. And Becky did check her. I mean, fair. I'm just saying Liv have every right to feel how she feel, but Becky made some valid points. It is what it is, baby. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, any whoosies, y'all. I'm gonna get out of here, and we'll be back tomorrow. We're gonna do Q&A, and we'll talk about all the stuff y'all want to talk about. So get y'all topics ready, and make sure you put them in the chat so we can have a little chit chat about wrestling tomorrow. Okay. All right. Did I see what you said earlier? No, because I was watching NXT. What did I miss? I'm going to group chat and watch. And look at it. So y'all don't forget. The live post about the live post. Was it in here? Or was it in the group chat? While Don give me his answer, I'm gonna tell y'all. The next set of events that are coming up for WWE, okay, or as follows, okay. So WWE's next big live event, their next PLE, is of course the King and Queen of the Ring. And it seems like they're going to be using this as a means of a launching pad for several people, for two people's careers. Okay, it was in a group chat. Okay, I'll check it in a second. So hopefully we get another, we get a stepping stone back with the King and Queen of the Ring, which I love that. That's always a good idea in my opinion. And it also stops these random ass matches and random feuds from being created. You can really start some real foul shit out of a tournament, especially when people lose. That is a launching pad for feuds, and it's a launching pad for careers with King and Queen of the Ring. Okay. So that is the next big pay-per-view. And I just told y'all it's going to be Becca. For now, these are the matches that are booked. It's Becca versus Liv. And then you've got a triple threat with Reed, Zayn, and Gable going after that Intercontinental Championship. This is happening in Saudi. Right after that, okay, Clash at the Castle happens in June on the 15th, Saturday. There is also a double feature because SmackDown is going to emanate from Glasgow on that Friday, and then Saturday we'll have Clash at the Castle. Now, if you were paying attention to Monday Night Raw, you heard CM Punk say if he has to go all the way to Glasgow, Scotland to find you, Drew McIntyre, he will. And when he does, he's going to punch you in the face. I imagine that they're going to finally clash, no pun intended, at Clash at the Castle. All right. Then after that, we get a mild break. We get a mild break in between, but not a lot, because just that Sunday, That Sunday prior, we have NXT Battleground in Las Vegas at the UFC Apex. Okay, so those 2 weekends back to back are WWE related pay-per-views. Okay, it's nutso the schedule that they have. Now, in between June 15th and July 6th, we get a break. There are no PLEs. Money in the Bank is the next PLE. So shortly after Clash at the Castle is when they're going to start the Money in the Bank qualifiers, probably. And they'll have people qualifying to be in each Money in the Bank. Now, I don't know how many slots they're going to have this year for Money in the Bank people. I don't know if they're going to leave it at 8 or if they're going to drop it back to 6. However, I think they should have it at 8. You know what I'm saying? That's just me though. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, who and how many people they should have. We'll talk about it more on Wednesday, tomorrow. But Money in the Bank is July 6th. And then we get a little bit of a reprieve. We get about a month, maybe 3 days shy of a month, okay? Because that's when SummerSlam comes to Cleveland, and it's going to be on August 3rd, all right? And then 2, maybe 3 weeks after that, Bash in Berlin happens on the 31st in Germany. Girl, they ain't giving us no breaks, child. Okay, they are pulling out these PLEs back to back to back to back to back. I ain't mad at it because the PLEs are fun to watch and they're giving up great matches. I just don't want them to burn out too quickly. That's all. I say 8 too. Yo. I think they should do 8. Extend that a little bit, make it so that it's 8 people. It's a lot of chaos and it's a lot of fun when it's 8 people. Okay. But listen, those are all of the pay-per-views leading up to SummerSlam. So those are the next what? The next 3 months are the next pay-per-views that we're going to have, okay? And that's the schedule, all right? So y'all make sure y'all keep yourselves locked in, okay? We got King and Queen of the Ring. The tournament continues this Friday on SmackDown side. We got to see how the girls are going to play out on the SmackDown side. I will see y'all tomorrow when we talk about the rest of this. We're going to talk about some more wrestling stuff. And like I said yesterday, we're going to talk about Met Gala. We're going to talk about Kendrick Lamar and Drake and some of the new stuff that I found. And we just going to do SBC chat and chill. But first things first, we're going to do wrestling and Q&A. So I'll see y'all then. Y'all have a good night. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.